right, let's go back to Wits University this morning. It has been one of the big stories the past few days. Now, to remind you where we are this Saturday morning, yesterday the university barred the media from covering the protests, saying it will only inflame the situation. Students very angry at financial exclusions and a lack of accommodation. The university says the claims by the students are false. So where are we this early on a Saturday morning? Back for us at Wits University, Pule Letshwiti-Jones on the story. Morning to you, Pule. Civic organisations weighing in. What are they saying about the protests?
Yeah, definitely, Gareth. I mean, you would have seen that statement by Amnesty International South Africa saying that, or rather calling for restraint during protest action at the Wits University, saying that the students should be allowed to protest peacefully. However, also calling for urgent intervention from various stakeholders, saying that the Department of Higher Education and Training and of course the Wits management should come together and try to see how they can meet the angry and frustrated students halfway in terms of resolving their disputes and of course some of the demands that they've tabled. But I just wanted to take a listen to what they had to say earlier on when we spoke to them.
That all parties that come to that meeting come with an open mind and come with listening, right? So listening to each other's concerns, each other's viewpoints, and that there can be a resolution reached. And often resolutions come with some sacrifice, right? And some mediation. So both parties are probably going to have to give some leeway to the other one. And that's what we're really hoping for is that there can be a peaceful conversation and that all parties really come with the view to communicate and not to necessarily shout at each other or refuse to listen to each other, but that there will be something that comes together and that a decision can be made that really serves all parties. We do want to say that this is also in aid of peace, right? It's in aid of no one getting hurt or further people getting hurt. We did see reports of some people getting hurt already. And of course, we also know that in the past people have died. And we really want to call on the university, on the Department of Higher Education and on the protesters to really take this seriously, that there can be no further injury and no deaths this time around.
Yeah, so very worrying, Pule, when we see the scenes that played out yesterday on the steps of the Great Hall. Not something we want to see today. Just by the way, as I ask you about the expectations for the rest of Saturday, I see you're standing outside of Wits. What is the process at the moment for getting back onto campus while you tell me what's expected today?
Well, everything is still normal today. We haven't seen any sign of protests taking place in the streets of Braamfontein. Of course, we've tried to contact some of the students who are inside, and they said that they're still having to regroup. There is no sign of protest going inside as well. It seems as though things are a bit peaceful this morning. However, we know that there's this meeting taking place just a couple of minutes from now between the students and, of course, the Wits management. Later on, there will also be a briefing by the Wits SRC, which will be taking place. Hopefully, we'll be getting a bit of detail there as to what is the way forward, what is going on. We know that there's also going to be a briefing by the EFF Student Command Council at about 9:30 this morning. So those are just some of the activities that will be taking place, or programs that will be taking place. Tomorrow, the students will be receiving a bit of feedback from the Wits SRC as well. However, one must also highlight that if none of their demands, so like they've said and reiterated, are not met, they will of course be reinforcing and intensifying their protests again from Monday. But we also saw that letter coming from the institution. It seems as though the institution will be taking legal action against the disruptors and those who were part of this protest as well, and those who started off this protest. But the SRC is saying it's not deterred. They will continue to intensify their protests, saying that the legal action from the institution is somewhat a sign of intimidation, and they just cannot stop until their demands are met.
All right, then, Pule, for the moment, thank you very much on the steps of the university at Wits. We'll get you back to Pule again a little bit later when we're waiting to hear the details of this meeting, which you understand is currently underway.